Today we're going to look at how to play Knocking on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan. We've got the G chord that we've looked at, where you play all 6 strings. Then you come into a D chord, where you're playing the 4 strings, and then you can come into a C, where you're playing the 5 strings. So Knocking on Heaven's Door is with the G chord. You've got your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the G string, you've got your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, you're playing the D open, the G open, and then you can either play the 3rd fret of the B string, the B open, and the 3rd fret of the E string. So you can either play it like this and use all 4 fingers, which I prefer to do with the G chord, or leaving the B open and fretting the 3rd fret of the E string. So the other way of doing it is bringing that finger up and adding your 4th finger, so you're playing the D note, the 3rd fret of the B string, and you're adding your 4th finger and playing the 3rd fret of the E string, and then to a D, and then the C. Remember, when you're strumming, for the G using all the strings, for the D it's just the bottom 4 strings, and for the C you need to be playing the 5 strings and missing the top E. Now another thing you can do in Knocking Heaven's Door, when you're playing that C chord, is if you lift your 1st finger on that C, so you get this, so you're just lifting on and off on the C note to make it a B note. So you're playing the B open, or you're playing the full C chord and you're going from C to C. So you're playing the C to C and with the E at the end. E string open. So you're playing from C to E string open, or you're playing the C and the B open and the E open. It's just moving your fingers a little bit more. It's a song that most people know. It's been covered by that many different people, by Guns N' Roses, by Eric Clapton, and loads more. So when it comes to strumming, if you're using a pick, play it nice and slowly. It's always best to try and learn something nice and slow, and you just build on the speed rather than playing it fast and not worrying about how the chord sounds or how the note sounds. It's always best to play it nice and slowly so you can hear your mistakes clearly. So if we're strumming on this, the down, I'm tending to sort of sweep, coming down and then a strum each time I change the chord, so it's sort of, and then into the D, sweep down, and then into the C, sweep, and then back into the G, and then sweep for the D, and then sweep for the C. Bring your first finger off to open B, and then back down to play the C. Back to the G. In fact, even for me, playing it slower it feels a lot more difficult than playing it fast in a way, because when you're just strumming at it, but you're not hearing your mistakes. And that's the thing, when you do it nice and slowly, you can really concentrate on what you're doing. Making sure you're getting them 4 strings, not the 5 strings or the 6 strings, missing that E, missing that A, starting on the root note, which is the D, and then for the C, starting on the root note, which is the C. And then for the G, your G root note, playing the G with the B open, or playing the D note there, and putting using all 4 fingers, which I just think it's got a nice fuller sound. I'm not so keen on these bottom notes ringing out with the G. Difference, it's not massive. Now for Knocking on Heaven's Door, I'm going to look at a 4-chord version of Knocking on Heaven's Door that I like to play. It would just be good practice at playing another chord, adding an extra chord in for beginners, so I will do. Knocking on Heaven's Door.